Hello, this is one of your TAs. This is Lisa, and I am recording this Adobe Connect session to walk you through some of the tricks of SA1. So I'm going to share my screen right now, and we'll walk through some of the different tricks of this together. And we will go to SA1. So this is your first essay. Assignment 1, it's called Climate Change Trends in Your Town, and it's due at 10 p.m. on Friday, the 13th. Whoa, scary. So there's some information here about the essay that you need to write and what we would like you to get out of this. We'd like you to use online resources to access your temperature data and then create Excel graphs. This is a really awesome skill that you can use, especially in a lot of other classes that you'll encounter at UC Davis. So this is what we're going to focus on today, is accessing this data and using these Excel graphs. So we're going to go through these detailed instructions. We'll go through part of them together. And here are the detailed instructions. So it says that we want you to look at these different websites to access your temperature data. So I'm going to make this a little smaller so we can see this at the left-hand side of our screen. And then we'll be visiting this site right here. So you can click on the link below the site. Great, and here we are, Surface Meteorology and Solar Energy from NASA. Now this site is some satellite information about your hometown. So what you're going to do first is click here on Meteorology and Solar Energy, and then go to Interannual Variability. And here they're going to ask you for your email address and a password. So go ahead and just type those in, and you'll have to type your password down here as well. It's whatever password you would like. And then hit submit. And it may take you to another page where it asks you for a little bit more information, but eventually you will come to this page where it asks you for the latitude and longitude of where you grew up, or whichever city you are choosing to do your SA1 on. And you might go, oh no, I do not know my latitude and longitude. So in that case, you're going to go to getlatlon.com. So this site will allow you to type in the name of the place. So I grew up in a little town called Tabernash, and there it is. And then it's going to give you the latitude and longitude right here. So I'm going to copy this, and I'm on a Mac, so I'll hit Control click. That's the same thing as right clicking, and copy. And then I'm going to go back to my NASA page and paste this in here. I hit Control click and paste, and it pasted both values, so I'm going to cut this value and paste it in here and delete my comma there. And then I'm going to say, okay, I would like the minimum air temperature. So I'll click submit. Aha, okay. So these are the minimum air temperatures for Tabernash, Colorado, where I grew up. Now, you can see right now I'm dragging over all of these. I'm highlighting all of the minimum air temperatures. And I'm only going to highlight to 2005, not the average down there. And then I'm going to, again, Control click or right click if you're on a PC and copy. And I'm going to go to my Excel spreadsheet now. So once you have those copied, what you want to do is go to your Excel spreadsheet and your town minimum temperature. So the Excel spreadsheet you can download from topic 1 or topic 2 under assignments on a website, and then it says, oh look, paste here. Now, we might think that we could just go Control paste, but oh no, it's an entire mess. So let's undo that. So how you want to paste is you want to go right click or control click and say paste special. And then you're going to paste this as Unicode text. So click Unicode text and click OK. And another thing you'll notice is that these are not aligned perfectly with this year over here, and you would like the dates to line up. So this is still highlighted, so we can highlight all of our data and going to cut it, and then you click one cell down and paste. And that way this moves it down and it's nicely aligned. Okay, so that is the first step, and you'll want to do that also for the maximum temperature. If we head back to our internet sites right now, you'll hit the back button here and you'll do that for the maximum average temperature as well. But I won't walk through that since that process is very similar to doing the minimum air temperature. Okay, so let's go back to our directions. So that's how you acquire the satellite data, and that's the little trick with the pasting of the satellite data. And next we're going to go to the ground data. So you go ahead and click on this link, and that is right below the ground station temperature data. And that will take you to this other NASA website. And on this website, you are going to want to scroll down, and then where it says click at desired location on map below or enter a station name to search for, go ahead and enter the largest city near your location. So my location is very rural, and the largest city near my location is Denver. So Denver, Colorado. So I'm going to search for Denver. And here we go. We have Denver Stapleton, and we click on that. And that gives us this nice graph. And you're going, oh goodness, well that's lovely, but where's my data? So come down here and you say download monthly data as text and click on this. And this may be a little different on a PC. It may actually have you download this, and you might have a text file that you need to open on your computer. And on my Macintosh computer, it opens a new tab with the data. So here we go. This is pretty similar to the other one. We want to highlight all of our data, and then we're going to right click or control click if you have a Mac and copy it. And then we're going to head back to our Excel spreadsheet. So here's my Excel spreadsheet. And so this data is the ground data. So you should have downloaded your minimum temperature, your maximum temperature, and now you click on this tab, Your Town Ground, and it has a nice little paste here instructions. So we're going to do another paste special. So right click or control click, paste special, and say Unicode text and click OK. And occasionally what will happen here, okay, so this turned out very well. So trying to paste it as Unicode text generally works. I am going to show you another trick here. So I'm going to undo this, and I'm going to go back to this and say Control Copy. And then we'll go to our Excel spreadsheet again, and I'm just going to click Paste this time. Okay, so this may look okay to start off with, but if you click in just one cell, you'll notice that it has all the values for that year. So another trick that you can do to fix this situation is highlight this cell, and then you're going to go text to columns. And in my version of Excel, that is under the Data tab. So some versions of Excel, it will be somewhere else, but mine is under the Data tab. So I click text to columns and I choose delimited and then click next. And then I'm going to click on these various things until I see them segregate. So if you click on the space one, it looks like our data is now in columns. So we're going to click finish. And voila, you have the data nicely organized. But if you'll notice again, this is one space above the pre-done sheets for you over here. So if you would like to, you can highlight data and go Control Cut, then paste, and it will move it down one so that it's nicely aligned. And now your year 1881 corresponds to your year here, and you have a nice long data sheet. Okay. So generally, this will end where your data ends. And if you would like to, you can clear these cells down here. But we will get to that in a little bit. Okay. So now you have your data downloaded and it is in your Excel spreadsheet. So what do our directions say to do next? Okay. If you are having problems, these directions in the detailed instructions tell you a few more steps that may help you. However, I find that just copying and pasting, as I showed you in this video, is the easiest way to get your data into your Excel sheet. So that is important. Okay. So as soon as you have your data in your Excel sheet, it says that you need to eliminate any erroneous data. This appears as a 999.9. So when you see these, go ahead and highlight them, and instead of replacing them with blanks as it says here, we've had some issues with that in the past, what you want to do is go ahead and just delete those cells. So let's see if we can find any here in this data set. Oh, this looks like a very good data set. I'm not seeing any erroneous data points. Let's say that we don't trust these 0 values, just for example. So you're just going to delete that value. Just hit delete and then hit enter. And that will be what you can do with the erroneous data, the 999.9 data. Okay, so now this is going to walk you through graphing the data. So it says for the satellite data, what you want to do is highlight both the year column and you're going to highlight the February column, and then you're going to insert a scatter plot. Okay, so how you do that is you highlight the year column, and I'm pushing Control right now to highlight the February column. Oops. So you could push Control in a PC, and then you want to push Command to highlight the 2 columns in a Mac. So if I have one column highlighted and I want to highlight this one, in a PC I'm going to press Control, and in a Mac I'm going to press Command. Okay, now that we have our 2 columns highlighted, I'm going to go to Charts. There. I'm going to choose a scatter plot. So we click on our scatter plot, and there we go. We have our temperatures. So in order to get a layout that we like, I have these quick chart layouts on my Excel. and you'll have to just explore your version of Excel. But I'm going to go ahead and choose this one. So that gives me these little axis titles here. And it asks us to label these charts. Okay, so if you can't find your little chart help boxes here, then you can go to the Excel help if you need directions. So we're going to label the y-axis and we're going to label the x-axis. So this is the year, and it's kind of funny that that is not actually showing up as a year. So it's basically just taken our years and put them into numbers. And this is our temperature. Celsius. So there we have our chart. Okay, and I bet if we only highlight the years, it'll actually have those. Right, so there is a trick. If you do not highlight the word year and the word February, it will give you your years down here along the bottom. Excellent, okay. So that is how you make your charts. And if you would like a line connecting these, you can add a trend line, or if you want to, you can select the chart and make it scatter. So that one that I just selected was a straight lined scatter plot. If you'd like to see the trend line, you say add trend line, and that will show you the trend line of the chart, which will be very useful. And I would just add a linear trend line for each of these charts. Okay, great. So that is how you create charts in Excel. Okay. So once you are finished with all of your charts, it asks you to do several. So you'll have to do the same highlighting process, and you will have to do these for the minimum 5-year running average as well, and the maximum July average temperatures, and the maximum 5-year running average for the July temperatures. And those data are prepared for you once you paste in your data. You have the 5-year running averages calculated here, and you also have under your town ground, you have, oops, there we go. You have both the 11-year running averages and the 5-year running averages. And for these charts, you want to highlight only the years for which the data is available. So you can see I'm highlighting down to where the years end and where my data is available. So I'm just going to highlight those cells, and then I'm also going to push Command and highlight these that are right next to the corresponding years. And say other straight marked scatter. And we have some very low temperatures here. And then they climb up. So you can see that it's very cold where I grew up in February. But it is interesting that those are climbing. Okay, so and then just to review again, in order to get the labels, you can click here, and this would be 11-year running February. And then my axis title would be here. So Excel go. Okay. So that is how some of the tricks of the trade for Excel. If you have any questions about this assignment, then please post them on Piazza. I am going to end this recording now, and I hope that you have gotten some things from it and that some of your questions have been answered. Have fun with SA1.